This is my journey to the Stellar Blade Platinum. Spoilers ahead, by the way. The story is also interpreted through an idiot, so a lot of the information might be wrong. Let's hope not, though. Secondly, I also wanted to make it clear I did not want to platinum this game. There is no way I wanted to play this game. I am being forced to platinum it. This is not my choice. We will be playing on story mode.
Transmitting final briefing. As of now, Airborne Squad 7 will exterminate the Alpha Nativas occupying District 3. Their objective is the capture or dispatchment of the Elder Nativa. Pods entering atmosphere.
1 minute until threshold is reached. The threshold has been surpassed. Activating shield. Code red. Code red. All available drop pods will be ejected according to Protocol B32.
No!
07531. Pod landing complete. Removing physical shield. Opening hatch.
The hatch. Come on. Come on! Taki?
Eve, are you alright? This place is dangerous. Take my hand.
After the introduction cinematic, we fight our way through the tutorial area, watching everybody we care about and know die. This leads us into the first boss fight of the game. Let's just say it goes well,
Alpha Nativa.
kinda well.
Let's join them. Are you ready?
So when you're ready, I was not. Kill the first boss, and we'll be greeted by yet another cutscene.
It wasn't an alpha, but it was a strong one. You fought well. Even better than during training.
You were all together. But then...
The damage to your body frame is serious. We have to find the supply camp. Wait, Eve. I hear something. Eve! Eve, are you all right? Alpha Nativa. Here, friend. It's me you want. No! Eve! Get out of here!
So after that, we find ourselves with a mysterious man called Adam in an area called Eidos 7. Our current objective is to get to a place called the Hall of Heroes to find a hypercore for Adam, so he can show us where an Alpha Natibus is. It's the leader class of the enemy, and hopefully by killing the Alpha Natibus, we will be able to get access to the leader of all Natibus. However, that's a long way off yet, and we have a couple of things to do along the way, including getting our first trophy. So, shortly after landing on 807, we will come across our first camp. Now, we are going to need to rest at 89 of these throughout the game. I believe that's every single one in the game. We are going to need to rest at all of them. But for resting at this first one, we would have got our first trophy out of 45, as well as a cutscene of how we met Adam. While traversing in Stellar Blade, there are a couple of things we need to keep in mind in relation to trophies. There is a lot of miscellaneous things that we have to do, such as we have to kill all types of enemies, we have to open 200 boxes, we have to collect 200 records, we have to collect 30 nano suits, as well as upgrade a heap of our gear to maximum, kill a total of 1500 enemies, as well as killing these enemies in certain ways. So basically we have to do everything. We have to 100% every area, explore as much as possible, and do everything we possibly can, including killing everything. I will, however, cover specific trophies when I grind them out, or when we get them naturally through gameplay. So once we get to the top of this parking garage, we will have yet another boss battle, and we will get our second trophy. That is 2 out of 45. So the next chunk of Eidos 7 can take a substantial amount of time, as there is a long distance between us and the Hall of Heroes, and there's several obstacles in between us and the Hall of Heroes. One such obstacle is the monorail we have to get working, and then the clock puzzle. Now, I hope you remember how to read a analog clock, because I fucking forgot, because it had been so long. It was like a piece of ancient technology I could not fucking understand, and then took me like 5 minutes to like figure out how to fucking read one again, because I don't think I've read one in like 10 years. It's been a long time. So once you get the code off the clock and open the door, we will be well on our way to the Hall of Heroes and the next chunk of story, which starts to tie things together a bit more, and we will then get the hypercore from within the Hall of Heroes.
Humanity's greatest and only hope for survival can be found in Mother Sphere. Please, enjoy the harmony and prosperity of Eidos 7, the first city ever built by Mother Sphere, the mother of...
I have no idea what that was all about. Adam, did it make any sense to you?
Mankind's past was buried with the final war. This must be a video from before that time.
So, in the Hall of Records, we find the Hyperself Adam, as well as a heap of story information about the past. So, I don't know if at this point you're meant to know that Mother Sphere is an AI, but I honestly think it's heavily implied, and even when I was playing through, I was like, oh, Mother Sphere is an AI. So, with that information, basically, Mother Sphere enhanced humans so that they could survive in space without a spacesuit or walk across the bottom of the ocean, made them basically immortal. So there's a lot of context that can be found with finding dead bodies and finding their memory sticks and reading books within the game. So I'm just going to summarize everything regarding Mother Sphere and that when it's necessary and what information we know at certain points. A lot of the information we will get through cutscene. After that, we will come around the corner and we will fight a Corruptor. Now, the Corruptor will net us our next trophy, which is 3 out of 45. The Corruptor gave me a little bit of a 1-2 punch, but I beat it on my second try, and then we continue to the Alpha. Now, between here and the Alpha, we've got to go through a construction site. We've got to collect 3 security tags that we use to move some pillars, that then grants us access to a sewer section, and then we get through the sewer section by flooding a couple of areas, swimming around, and this leads us to the Alpha, which is the final boss fight of EDO 7, and then we move on to Zion.
Eve, look up!
I found Gears to be slightly easier than the Corruptor. His attacks were just a lot more telegraphed, easy to dodge, and I finally understood some of the story mode elements, making the combat a little bit easier. So I was getting the hang of the combat at this point. But once we defeat Gigas, that will earn us a trophy, I believe, 5 out of 45, and then we will make a new friend.
My goodness. I can't believe this.
This is the Alpha Natiba. You can tell by looking at its core.
An Alpha Core. If she were... Eve.
Hmm?
There's something you need to know. The truth is...
Hello? Here! Can somebody rescue me?
I
in the pod. If you're there, please help.
What the? A survivor from the airborne squad.
Were you the one who sent the rescue signal? Huh? Yes. Yes, it was me. You're a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, right? Yes. And you? Right. Let me introduce myself. I'm an engineering support of the 5th Airborne Squad. Lily Artemis II. But you can just call me Lily.
So just to recap, you were in that hideout waiting for another squad to arrive for almost 2 years?
And then you met us. Yes. Thank you so much for saving me. I've been waiting a long time for the next squad to come in. It's been really lonely here. It's really lucky we were able to find you when we did. Eve, you're from the Airborne Squad Assault Force, right? Yes. Then I can be your engineering support. Of course, I will need proper equipment first.
Equipment? Well, I did want to say something earlier.
What is it?
Actually, there's a city where other survivors, besides me, live.
What? Really?
It's called Zion, humanity's last city. If we go there, there might be people that can help us. I have a safe house with some equipment I bet you would want.
Then let's head there quickly!
Before that, I would like to ask you something. Currently, Zion is holding out under the guidance of Oracle, who is also our spiritual leader. It's complicated. Eve, I imagine completing your mission isn't any easier having lost your comrades. So, please, help me save Zion. If you do, I promise Oracle and I will do everything we can to help you on your mission. It's about joining forces and helping each other, just like we did before. Sound good?
Yes. Thanks to teamwork, I was able to get the Alpha Core. Maybe we can get more information in the city, Eve. Think about it. Yes. I suppose there's no reason to say no. However, I want to decide after hearing the story from that person you're calling Oracle.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I can definitely get behind that idea.
Well, I guess that settles that. Alright then, let's head to Zion.
Yes!
So once we have Lily and we're in Zion, we're going to go talk to Oracle and he's going to give us the gameplay loop.
Whoa, this place! This is where the memories are kept, right?
You've got a keen eye. That's right. The Presence Chamber is where memories are stored. The memories of those who couldn't make it back to Mother Sphere. Over here.
Oh. I see we have guests. Welcome.
Let me start the introductions. This is Zion's prophet, Oracle.
I'm Airborne Squad member Eve. My name's Lily. Pleased to meet you.
Adam has told me all about you. You defeated an Alpha Natiba. Will you show me anything it might have dropped?
Here.
Oh, it's an Alpha Core. Please, a moment. Your objective is to rid the world of the Elder Natiba, the leader of all other Natibas. Well, then I suppose you're trying to use the Alpha Core as a key to open the way forward to the nest. Is that right?
How did you know that?
Unfortunately, the nest cannot be opened with the Alpha Core alone.
What? No way! But is there really no other way to reach the nest?
By fusing 4 Alpha Cores together, you create something called a Master Core. Only with the Master Core will you be able to reach the very deepest corner of the nest.
How do you know all this?
Thanks to my personal link to the facility on the surface, I can search anywhere and everywhere on Earth. All I require is the right amount of energy.
That would also mean you'd be able to track down the Alpha Natiba.
That's enough for introductions. Adam, please insert the hypercell.
Unfortunately, there's too many cutscenes to show them all, otherwise this would be just 7 hours of cutscenes. But I think having like major points and introductions to major characters is important, and for certain things that are needed for context, so we'll keep them in. After we go and insert the hypercell into the hyperdrive, we find out that the massive amount of energy being used there is to keep tens of thousands of people alive in stasis underneath Zion. So the gist of what we are going to need to do is we need to collect 4 Alpha Cores. This is the object that Gigas dropped when we killed him. So only Alpha Natibas drop an Alpha Core, and we're going to need 4 of them to create something called a Master Core to access the Alpha Natiba's nest, so we then can kill the Alpha Natiba and then win the game. Now, the problem with all this is that we're going to need more hypercells to expand the Oracle's, let's say, sphere of influence. He is able to access more information the more energy he has, which means more hypercells. So basically, more hypercells means more Alpha Natibas, which means more Alpha Cores. So our overarching aim is to get hypercells, to then get Alpha Natibas, to then get Alpha Cores. However, before we do that, we have to go visit Kaya to get to the next area of the game because Adam's ship is broken and we need a part.
I can't believe the angel is here. Are you the owner of the shop? That's right. At least for now. Adam sent me to pick up the new propulsion control board he ordered. I'm here. Is it ready?
Uh-huh. It's ready. I even have a spare one, too.
Good to know. Let's see.
So after we meet Kaya and get the part, we can also meet Enya and Sue. Now, Kaya, Enya, and Sue, and a little robot called Dia are the only 3 sort of miscellaneous trophies regarding NPCs within the game. So we're going to have to complete all of these people's stories.
Halt. This is a restricted area. I haven't seen you around Zion before. Identify yourself.
Wait. I'm an airborne squad member from the colony.
Huh. So you're an angel. What brings you here? Looking for a tour?
I was curious about the song coming from inside.
I heard the Prophet gave you permission to enter the city, but that doesn't mean you can go around as you please. Of course, those who've lived in the comfort of the colony don't know anything.
I don't mean any harm. I apologize if I've caused you trouble.
Enya, you okay? There was a time when this bar used to be full of people. Now it's just so empty. Empty and dark. And Enya, same story. I wonder how long she can keep singing, with her body in the state it's in. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's pointless.
I'm trying to be sensitive, but if you need help, we might be able to fix her. After all, we do have engineering support from the airborne squad.
What? Is that so? But I have no way to repay you.
No, I don't need anything.
don't need any kind of incentive to save someone.
All right. In that case, could you help me?
Once we return to Adam with the part he needed to repair his ship, he tells us that he needs time to fully make the repairs, so we decide to head to the Wasteland, the next area in the game, on foot. Something I did not mention as well is Adam follows us around with this like little robot, and he like talks to us and tells us stuff, and it's all very interesting. Thanks to Lily, she makes that robot into a gun that we can use, so that's pretty cool.
Alone and level sands stretch far away.
This is the largest land I've ever seen in my life.
And yet danger lurks around every corner. Watch your step. If you trip, you might find yourself caught in the arms of death. All right, I've entered the scanned coordinates of Altus Lavoir. Let's go.
Atlas Lavoir is our next stop, as it has the hypercell that we need. But before we head there though, we need to go to a nearby solar farm to restore power. This is so along the way to Atlas Lavoir we can activate camps and actually have them working, as camps require power and the solar farm is offline, so nothing has any power, so we can't fast travel and we can't rest, we can't do skills. Basically we can't do anything in the area. Now there are a few side quests in the area, but we're going to leave them till after Atlas Lavoir because a lot more of the game opens up after that mission. So once we cross the wasteland and we get to Altus Lavoir, we have to fight Titosaurus over here, and she was kicking my ass until she wasn't. Once we beat her, she will grant us access to Altus Lavoir.
The blade stopped working all of a sudden.
The drone scan isn't working either. Hold on. This is bad. There's an unusual electromagnetic security field disrupting the system.
There should be Natives around here.
Equipping the drone is still possible. Same goes for shooting at range. I guess we should thank Lily for that.
So, Altus Lavoir is the first section in the game where your sword is not available. Because of this, Altus Lavoir consists of shooting enemies at range and a sort of just a long shot of just really, really simple puzzles that I failed at miserably, I think, every single time. So let's just see how that went.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint. Once you get to the end of Atlas Lavoir, you have to fight the Maelstrom. Honestly, super easy fight. Like, you just run around, shoot his weak spots. If you run out of ammo, there is the inability to actually open ammo packs and stuff, which I don't find out to
a lot later in the game, so I was just running around waiting for his little enemy body bags to spawn, and then like waiting for them to blow up to like pick up ammo, so you could do this really, really easy. But once you defeat the Maelstrom, you have access to the next hypercell, which we pick up, and that will give us the trophy Atlas Levere for completing this area. It will also lead to us finding an object called a legacy.
The hypercell's preservation status is good.
Great. Be careful with it now. You should head back. I'll have the pod waiting for you once you go outside.
Huh? Wait. There's a legacy here.
A legacy? What's that?
It's a device with records left by the airborne squad before me. They leave important information for the next airborne squad.
I see. But why would an airborne squad come all the way here?
Maybe they knew something about the Alpha or the Elder.
I'll check the legacy.
Day 8 after the second dive. Third record. Legacy account Raven. Remaining survivors Ripley and Anis. Anis is in a bad condition. Death is very likely at this rate. We discovered this laboratory 4.47 kilometers from the drop-off point. It seems to be a facility that studied Naytibas, but it's hard to obtain accurate information due to severe contamination. However, I discovered an astonishing fact while searching through the data. Before the war we call the Final War, there was another war. It was a war fought between humanity and the androids humanity had themselves created, the so-called Andro-Eidos. Humans lost the war against their own creation. The few humans who did survive hid in underground facilities, but the hunt was far from over. However, an unexpected factor turned the tide of the war. With mankind at the verge of extinction, Naytibas, powerful creatures from an unknown origin, appeared out of nowhere. The war with the Naytibas brought about the destruction of the androids. And so, during this time, mankind was able to make its escape to the colony. From now on, I plan to investigate the origin of Naytibas. Hopefully, at the origin point, I should find the Elder Naytiba. To anyone who may be watching, may Mother Sphere's blessings be with you.
I didn't think a record like this existed.
And there was another big war before the final war. I never learned about anything like that at the colony.
What do you think, Adam?
The history of mankind is riddled with conflict. It's hardly a surprise to hear about wars before the final war.
Even so, it's strange that this wasn't passed down. I'll retrieve the legacy and go back.
So once back in Zion we speak to Lily, because one side quest that I did do while out in the wasteland before going into Atlas Levere was to get all the pieces to repair Anya, and this will progress Anya and Sue's story, which we need to complete for a trophy.
Would you mind bringing the patient here while I prepare for the process?
I'll bring her right now.
I did everything I could. It's not perfect, but the patient should be in much better shape now.
Sue, are you there? I can feel you.
Enya, are you all right? Enya,
Yes, your hands. They're very warm. It's been so long.
Enya.
Eve. It's starting to come back to me. You helped me. I would like to repay your kindness, but I don't have anything to offer. The only thing I can do is sing.
Your song is more than enough. Also, you should be thanking Lily, not me. She's the one who really saved you.
Now we're back in Zion, so I guess it's a good place to sort of discuss the story. Now I haven't won the game yet, and I'm not much further ahead of where we are now. And my thoughts are basically that the Natibas, from just the information we got from the Legacy, the Natibas are humans. We are androids, so we won the war against the humans, sort of Eve, the airborne squad. We won the war against the humans, forced them underground into an underground facility that they built, where Natibas sort of may come from, like all them weird body bags and things. So my guess is humans are Natibas, we are androids, and we slaughtered all the humans, and to sort of survive, humanity made this sort of last ditch effort against the androids and like created the Natibas. And I don't know, maybe like they just turned them turn themselves all into monsters or something. So I don't really know, but I think the story is super interesting. As I said, I haven't won the game yet. I know there's multiple endings and there's multiple trophies associated to that. We will get to that later, because it's going to require, to get the platinum, I'm going to have to do 2 playthroughs. As well as that, there's a lot of side quests and stuff. Different vendors have different sort of loyalty levels, like 1, 2, and 3, and the more you buy from them, the more you unlock, which allows us to buy sort of cool uniforms and buy other things, which is super interesting. As well as that, and next to the lady, the R shop lady that we were just at, there's a billboard, and that offers sort of side quests which aren't trophy related, but like I complete most of the side quests, and we're not going to cover a lot of them unless like they're super interesting. There's a couple of ones that are kind of interesting, so we're going to cover them because they're funny. But a lot of them missions sort of just end up with like, hey, like the first couple, it's like, hey, go find my cat, and then the cat's dead, and then it's like, hey, my husband's missing, husband's dead. Like it's just they mainly just end with everybody being dead. So that's the first bunch of missions from the billboard, and a lot of them, you know, they're not super interesting, but we're not going to cover them. But to get one of the endings, you do need to do a lot within the game, but that does lock you out from the other 2 endings. Unfortunately, I'm at the point where I'd already done too much, so we're sort of locked into a certain ending, but I'll cover that when we get to it. We also completed the mission for the hairstylist, so we can now change our hair and get haircuts. You're welcome.
The town seems different.
I see more people, more signs.
I told you, what we've accomplished has been well worth it. I don't think we'll be catching any more sideways glances.
Well, that's great to hear. To be honest, I was getting a bit anxious.
I'm heading over to the tetrapod. Why don't you take some time to enjoy the new scenery?
Right, so once we return to Orkul, sort of a whole lot more side missions and everything open up because there's more power, which I'm assuming they basically bring people out of stasis from underneath. I'm not really sure, but like more people arrive, I guess, and the Zion's a lot more lively, but this opens up a lot more side quests. So basically I spent 2 hours running around doing side quests. They're not really that interesting, and we're just picking up lots of side quests. We do go back and speak to Enya, so we can continue her story to get her trophy.
Enya, what is it?
Eve.
What's wrong? You're not singing like usual.
Well, the thing is, it's Sue. He hasn't come here recently. I've also heard that he's seeing someone else. Do you think he will abandon me?
I don't think Sue would do a thing like that. Please, don't worry. This might just be a misunderstanding. Where exactly did you hear this?
I heard it from Beau, one of Sue's colleagues. Eve, I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I can't leave here because of my legs. Can you ask around for me and maybe find out what's going on?
Okay, just hang on. There's no reason to be so anxious.
Thank you very much.
Right, so we pick up a bunch of missions to do, a bunch of different things. One that's fairly important because it leads to a trophy is we have to find a guy's buddy in the Forbidden Zone. As well as that, we investigate like a resistance group that's formed against Orkle, who believe sort of like he's using his power to control people. So we investigate that. It turns out it was a trap and somebody just killed everybody that went there. So that was kind of interesting. So after we do that, we end up heading back to the wasteland. And at the wasteland, we go and we find Digger.
As you can see, I've been involved in an accident.
I don't think I should attack this drug. Smaller drones don't usually have a language system installed.
I told you were gonna like this.
I'm currently incapable of projected conversation, and I will remain unable to escape unless you perform a manual reset on the claw crane system. Please operate the ticker, buzzer, and clunker in that order. They're located here at this dump site. I kindly request yours.
All right.
So once we reset the three devices in the correct order, which I got wrong several times, we will lift the object off Digger and we'll be able to speak to him. The reason this is important is we need him for a trophy because he's one of the 3 trophies that are connected to specific people, or in this case, a machine. We're also not going to see Digger for quite some time because I do just forget about him for a long time.
Thank you so much for your help. Hello, Adam. It has been some time. Would you kindly introduce me to this lady?
Of course, what's the word? Oh yeah, Angel.
Angel, that's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
I'm Eve. What happened to you? Drones like you aren't supposed to work this way.
Hello, Eve. I am Digger. I have innumerable thoughts concerning my existence, and I am capable of making fantastic plans.
I told you this would be fun. You see what I mean?
Adam, please don't interrupt. Eve, someday I would appreciate the opportunity to sit, at length, and share with you my fantabulous hypothesis. I thank you again for your assistance. May our relationship continue to prove constructive. I am willing to provide useful resources.
Okay.
So after we speak to Digger, we head north. Now this is an interesting side mission to investigate some missing sentinels, and this leads to a boss battle. This one is not trophy related, but it's kind of fun. So the reason I find this boss battle interesting is it has the same name as the first Alpha Natibus that we fight, and if you look at its circular head, it's wounded in the same way that we hurt the first Alpha Natiba, so it's not the first Alpha Natiba, it's meant to be like a subspecies, but it's weird that it's wounded the same way. I just thought that was interesting.
Hey, you alright?
I'm fine.
Is this a subspecies of what we encountered in 807? What's it doing here? Looks like it caught the Sentinels in an ambush.
2 important quests we do get done while we are in the wasteland is we have to find Kaya's backpack and we have to find her motorcycle, which are located on top of the scrapyard. Now we need this to get her miscellaneous trophy for completing her story. We also go to the Forbidden Zone to fight another boss to get another trophy. So the Forbidden Zone is just a massive hole in the ground, and at the bottom is a scavenger, and we need to find him because his partner's looking for him. Unfortunately, the scavenger was killed by, I think, the boss that I racked up nearly the most deaths to. So once you beat the boss at the bottom of the Forbidden Zone, we get the Brute Trophy. Now I cannot remember what number trophy this is, so I will not be doing that now. After this, however, we'll be returning to Zion to hand Kara's scavenger backpack back to her and complete her first quest. We will then ask her about the location of Sue in regards to Enya and Sue's quest, because after we healed Enya's voice, Sue has gone missing, so then we have to track him down. So we will be heading back to the wasteland again after that to find Sue.
Kaya, this is the bike isn't salvageable.
Oh, that's fine. It's just, it belonged to me. I thought I'd never see it again.
It's nothing. If you ever need help again...
Yes, Angel.
Kaya, I have...
Yes, Angel?
I'm looking for a sentinel named Sue. I think you might have spoken with him. Finally. Sue has disappeared. I'd appreciate it if you would assist me with the investigation.
My goodness. Well, the Sentinel was looking for a low-body exospine system. Of course, we don't have anything that rare. I told him that he'd have a lot of trouble finding one unless he looked someplace where a lot of supplies were dumped during the war.
Did he say what he was planning on doing?
He just said someone really need... Oh, Angel,
I'm trying to find out. Anyway, thank you. You've been a big help. Oh no.
Hello, Angel. Business as if my sister was here to help.
I understand. Your sister sounds like a...
My sister's name? She's strong, so I believe she has to be.
Kaya tells us that Sue has gone into the wasteland to find Enya some working legs, and we also find out a little bit more information about Kaya's sister, who has gone missing and hasn't been around. So as you can imagine, her last mission is directly related to finding her sister.
Who is it?
Oh, there he is.
Sue, it's me. How are you?
Angel, how? Well, I guess you've already figured everything out, if you managed to find me here. As you can see, I let my guard down. I'm lucky to be alive, but I couldn't fight after my right arm was injured. All I could do was run and hide here. I barely made it, but I managed to get the parts for Enya's legs. Though it was pointless. I wasn't strong enough to get back.
What possessed you to do something so dangerous? And without even telling Enya?
Well, I wasn't able to do anything for Enya. If it wasn't for you, I would...
Stop talking like that! Let's go back. Right now. Enya needs you.
After we find Sue, we return to Enya with Sue and her new legs, and that will complete her second mission. I also would like to say that during these parts where we return to Zion, there's a lot of other side quests that are being handed in, but nothing's really super relevant.
Don't worry. He was out on a ridiculous expedition, searching for some rare equipment that would help you walk.
What?
Then things took a turn for the worse, and he found himself trapped in the wasteland. Sue, won't you come in? Do you want to tell her the rest?
Enya. Well... So...
Sue.
I'm... sorry.
You thought I wanted to walk?
Well...
Of course I do. But...
well...
Walking is meaningless if it means losing you.
Enya, I'm felt so useless just waiting around, watching. I wanted to help. I just wanted to see you walk again. That's all. Really. I'm sorry.
Never do that again. I mean it. Never again.
After we complete Sue and Enya's second quest, to return back to the Wasteland just to do more side quests and bulletin board missions, as well as to open up a couple more merchants so we can increase their loyalty rank and then purchase outfits, because we need to get 30 exosuits. I believe there's 72 in the game, so it's very hard to sort of miss this, especially when it comes to New Game Plus. Once all that's done, however, we do head to the next location in the game, which is Matrix 11.
Oh, you're here.
I've been waiting for this.
Are you ready to leave?
All preparations are complete.
Finally! Looks like the time has come to test out the Alpha Signal Meter.
Yes, and if it functions as intended, things should be a lot easier. Alright, let me take you to Matrix 11.
Matrix 11 is the next linear part of the game, and we get a lot of trophies during this part, but we'll separate it into 3-ish sections. So the first part is we're going through a train graveyard, where it's mainly just a train scrapyard, but after we make our way through the lower section and the upper section of the train graveyard, we get to our first boss. So when you first get to Matrix 11, there are a couple of new enemy types, and they mainly just reanimate the dead. Now we have to kill every new enemy for the trophy of killing every single type of Natiba.
Whatever you do, don't look down. Oh, come on.
So the first boss of Matrix 11 is at the rail yard, and it is the Stalker. Now you get a trophy for defeating the Stalker, aptly named Stalker, and as well as that, during this boss battle, I got the trophy for performing 200 perfect dodges.
Fantastic finish. I'm detecting a core signal coming from below. I'm thinking we're gonna need to cut through the sewer system.
Another sewer. I'd like to avoid getting wet.
This transportation network was built on top of the sewer system. If you don't like it, we can always find another way. What was that sound?
That noise, it isn't normal. Why is that sound coming from the airborne squad channel?
Natiba shouldn't be able to hack communication lines.
Huh? That sound and the negative pattern from the Alpha Core match.
What the hell? What exactly is happening down there?
We'll have to find out ourselves. Let's hurry.
The next section of Matrix 11 takes us through some sewers where we will be forced to get wet once again. Before we enter the sewers, however, we do get an interesting cutscene where the final boss of the area is teased. While making it through the sewers, you will come across a couple of interesting things, like a camp that was used by survivors, but once you make it through all the sections of the sewer, which can take quite a bit of time, we do reach our next boss called the Juggernaut, and he will net us yet another trophy. After beating the Juggernaut, we travel through a flooded train yard, and then we get to the final boss of Matrix 11.
Look, there's something hanging in the air. Looks like a human. I think they're alive. What should we do?
We have to save them from the contaminant. Ah!
What's that noise? No way.
Taki. How are you here? Ah! The alpha signal is spiking!
Eve, that's an Alpha Natiba.
No. There's no way. That's impossible.
Interestingly enough, the Tashi boss fight is the first boss fight that actually has 2 phases.
It's collapsing! Careful! No!
It's over.
Yes.
Eve. The subjugation is being lifted.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Now, you can rest.
Yes. My Eve. Thanks for freeing me. I have a favor to ask of you. My memories. Mother, Sphere. Can you send them to her? Will the memory stick be destroyed? Because it's already contaminated.
No, it won't be.
In that case, I'll be floating among the stars. To space.
Taki! I promise, Taki. May your memories live on. Forever.
An airborne airborne squad member who themselves became an Alpha Natiba. Is this the work of the Elder? Could I take a look at her memory stick?
Here.
It feels different from the Elder Natiba. I can dimly make out the image of a Natiba bearing black wings.
Black wings. It's the one that attacked Taki and me. It has to be. But why?
I can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
Why? Why does it hate us?
It's not unusual for Natibas to find themselves at odds with humans. But this...
Can you locate it?
It is not yet within the scope of my personal link. The same goes for the other Alpha Natiba.
All right then. We'll need another hypercell.
Where should we go this time?
This time, the hypercell is at the easternmost reaches of the desert, Abyss Lavoir. This one won't be easy either.
Let's hurry.
Yes.
So after we beat Taki and go back to Zion, we find out that the next hypercell is in the Great Desert, in a place called, I think, Abyss Lavoir. It's another underground facility, and this is the first point of no return. So there's 2 points of no return in the game. One is when we enter Abyss Lavoir, and that's the point of no return that directly correlates with the ending. Now, while we've been playing the game and doing everything, we've been picking up little notes and things, as well as completing missions. Now, these all directly correlate to Lily's friendship meter, and one of the endings, the best ending, is in regards to having her meter full. Now, at this point in the game, I've done way too much sort of picking up notes and way too many side quests that I'm locked in for one ending. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to replay the game up until the point and get the other 2 endings. They don't really differ that much. We'll be picking up a whole bunch of side content. I'm not really going to cover much of it, but we are going to be finally completing Kara's side mission, which is directly related to her trophy, which is basically just to find her sister.
Angel.
What's the matter?
Well, obviously, I'm.
Go ahead.
So I know that retrieving that, but then this next.
It's about your sister.
Yes. My sister and I were exploring. The scary monster ambushed us. I ran through the desert. After that day, Angel, I'm telling, she's just lost. That's all. She just needs someone to help her find her way.
Kaya, that's... fine.
Yes. Angel, I'll be able to see my sister again. Thanks to you.
While we were in Matrix 11, we also found a legacy, and we end up watching that now that we're back in Zion.
Eve, Lily. I just realized we forgot about the legacy we retrieved at the Matrix.
That's right. We left it in the tetrapod.
I'll go and get it.
Great. Let's check it out.
I'm worried about what this one is going to be about.
Day 52, after the second dive. 5th record. Legacy account Raven. I am the lone survivor. The truth. The truth always lets me down. I have gathered a good amount of information from the lab's records and the memories of Legion's soldiers. We've always followed the instructions of Mother Sphere to the letter. She was our guiding light, our salvation, our God. However, in truth, Mother Sphere was a powerful artificial intelligence created by mankind. In the distant past, there was an engineer named Raphael Marx. He was her creator. Mother Sphere brought great prosperity to mankind, but she seemed to have changed her mind upon the creation of Andro Eidos, her self-made counterpart. After seeing the limits of humanity and the potential of Andro Eidos, she decided there was no room to spare for mankind. Our god is not the god of humans. Then why do we worship Mother Sphere? I don't know anymore. The more I learn, the more questions I'm left with. Everything puzzles me.
Mother Sphere. A being that was created.
With our own hands.
But why would she want to destroy us?
This information is full of errors. It's just not credible.
Usually, things only exist because people make them. Like us.
How dare you? That's blasphemy! Sacrilege!
Right. Sorry. But the truth doesn't need to be kind, only true. The grace of Mother Sphere is a fiction. At least for the humans left here. Maybe you too will come to feel this way.
What?
Lily, Adam. This isn't the whole story. We don't even know if this is true.
Ah, yes. You're right.
We need more information. Adam, please take me to Abyss Levois.
When we get to the Great Desert, there is going to be a lot for us to do, but priority number one is going to be finding 5 drones so we can repair the solar facility in the area, which will allow us to use our camps. As well as that, it will cause a sandstorm in the area to subside, which will then allow us to travel in and out of the area with the tetrapod. At this point in the game, you're going to be able to return to Matrix 11 and Eidos 9 to just do a ton of side quests and different things within those areas. I'm going to skip over most of that, but an important thing we do need to do is come back and speak to Digger, and we're going to need to get his shop loyalty to level 3. Getting it to level 1 will allow us to unlock his personal mission, which he'll ask us to collect 3 things of data, which in turn will allow us to complete his story to get his trophy, but that will allow us to also complete Sue and Enya's trophy and their story, because theirs is directly related to Digger's.
Eve, the time.
Come again? By the way, is that even a what?
That is irrelevant. What is relevant? This is a device of my own creation. It is called a connection device. I designed it to transmit network bandwidth signals to Earth's orbit and allow me to directly contact Mother Sphere.
Digger, you can't be serious. If you were to suffer an attack from the security system, it could fry your quantum brain.
I am aware of that. My objective is to simply bring the network back online, even if only for a brief moment. Either my sentience will be regarded as a bug, and I will be reset to factory settings, or Mother Sphere will give me my answer, and my happily ever after. Preparations are almost complete. However, Eve, I must first acquire the network access code in order to utilize the access node. The solar tower in the wasteland, Zion's scrap market, and the oasis of the Great Desert. These locations are where I last detected traces of its data.
This is not going to end well.
In the Great Desert, we'll also
Hey,
find the side
can't be out
quest
here like
to
this.
begin
And I
fishing. Now, there's 25 fish in the game, and
Mm.
for the trophy, we only have to catch 20 of them, but we will be doing this right at the end of the game.
Why
It's,
is
I think,
that
the
so
last trophy
important
we
to you?
actually get.
Hey, can you hear me?
Once we return to Digger with what he needs, he will pack up his bags and move to Zion, and that will actually count as his quest complete,
Now, I
and we'll
just
get the
need your help
trophy
with
for
one last
completing
thing.
Digger's story.
What now?
It's a simple task. I need you to enter the network code and activate the communication node. And I will be entering standby mode for the network connection.
Alright, if you insist. If anything goes wrong, it's not my fault, understand?
Your concern is appreciated, but I don't anticipate any serious problems.
Oh, what's going on?
Digger, you okay? That's a relief. Only the network device was destroyed. So, how'd it go?
I am still myself. I was unable to revert to IoT mode. However, nothing has changed. My hypothesis. Unfortunately, I am even more confused about what happened to me.
Well, what were you expecting? Considering the nature of artificial intelligence, trying to find the reason why consciousness forms isn't going to help you decide whether you're human or not.
I think Adam is right. Why don't you try something else? Maybe you could watch the citizens of Zion as they go about their lives. You haven't made much headway on your own.
I suppose you're right. Thank you for your advice. I must prepare for my migration to try something new.
After completing Digger's mission and returning to Zion, we will be able to find Sue and Enya at their little spaceport section where the tetrapod is, and we're going to be able to speak to them, and they will give us the final quest for Sue and Enya's story.
Enya, seeing you stand and walk like this, it's good to see. So, just what is it that brings you two here?
I have a request for you. At one point, a small drone came to the bar.
A drone? Oh, do you mean Digger?
The drone heard Enya singing, said it recognized the song, then just left. I've done everything I can, but I can't seem to find that drone.
Eve, I'm sorry to bother you with this. If it has something to do with my lost memories, do you think you can get more details from the drone?
Well, Digger should be in Zion. It shouldn't be too difficult to find out.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'll let you know the second I hear anything. In the meantime, you should head back. Best to stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, always.
Once we speak to Digger, he'll give us a location in the Great Desert that we need to go to find out more about Enya's past. And I'm pretty sure, isn't Enya like a famous singer, and she's a singer, and isn't Enya meant to have like a beautiful voice? So I'm not sure if this is like a shout out to Enya. I don't know much about music, but that seems interesting. There's also 45 cans of soda that we need to get throughout the game. Now, 4 of them are incredibly missable, and I do miss them and have to get them on my second playthrough of the game. But we're also going to go and collect as many of them as we can within the Great Desert and all the other locations within the game. Now everything carries over to New Game Plus, so you don't have to recollect any cans or anything like that. So any we miss, and we're able just to pick up through on the next one. But I go on a bit of a journey, getting as many cans as I can now.
Ah, Eve, did you bring me the can? Because I've made all the preparations already.
Preparations?
Voila! I picked up some stuff I found lying around and I put together a cabinet. I think it would be good to store your cans here.
Storage and display at the same time. Not bad.
Right? I'm telling you, Lily Artemis always gets the job done.
So after the crazy can collecting, it's finally time to go and find Kira's sister. Now, the location at which she is guarded by a missable Natiba. Now there are 6 missable Natibas within the game. 3 are directly related to one of the last bosses. One is the Behemoth, one is a Natiba in Edios 9, and I believe there is another one. I'm not 100% sure though. But the Behemoth is missable and is directly related to a trophy for beating.
Adam, is there anything else dangerous around here?
From what I'm seeing, just some leftovers. This must be the scary monster Kaya was talking about. Alright then, let's just get what we came for and get out of here.
All right.
Oh. No.
This person.
I don't know why I expected her to be alive, but I guess, I mean, it is Stellar Blade, so she was always going to be dead, and it was a bit heartbreaking, to be honest.
Adam, the memory stick is intact. ID confirmed.
So for Sue and Enya's last quest, basically we just need to come to the middle of the Great Desert, in the middle of the ruined city there, and we come to the Opera House, and then we have to interact with 7 different items around the room to just get a backstory on Enya and who she was. Basically that she was a android who sang before the Great War. Since then she's lost her memory, and this sort of just provides some backstory on who she was. So there's a bunch of other side quests and mini boss battles that you can do within the Great Desert. None of them are trophy related, but you need to do a bunch just for weapon upgrades and them sort of things. Now at this point the Nier Automata DLC came out, so of course I got it. Now I won't be wearing this uniform much because it's a bit much even for me. But yeah, what a crazy DLC. Like it's basically it's just costumes and you run around and collect some stuff. So at this point in the game I go and hand in Enya's and Sue's mission to complete their story. Now, unfortunately I lost the footage for both this and handing in Kana's mission regarding her sister, but Enya basically just learned to accept herself and accept that the past is a thing and that's not who she is anymore, and that she should be happy with what she has. So it's kind of happy. Basically she's just like, I'm actually really happy with Sue now, and I don't really care that much about my past, it's not that important. And Kanya, basically the same thing, just accepts her sister's death and goes, I'm going to live on for her memory. But we get both of them trophies now. Said trophies are called Beyond Fate and Sisterly Love. Now Beyond Fate's because that's the name of the song that Enya sings throughout the game. At this point, while running around and doing some side quests and looking for more soda cans, I do get the Natiba Hunter trophy, which is for killing 100 enemies with better skills. Now this will just come naturally through gameplay, as it's most of the combat trophies you'll just get naturally, or you can farm them like really easily. At this point, while running around getting more cans and completing some more side quests, I get the Silent Executioner trophy, which is for silently executing 50 enemies, which is just running up behind them while they're not ready and attacking them. At this point in the game, I believe I'm on 42 soda cans, so there's only 6 left. While running around the Great Desert, I do accidentally run past Abyss Lavoy, which just kicks you into a boss battle.
Do I have to go through another test?
Yes. There cannot be any exceptions.
Then let's not waste any time.
Just as I heard, outside's place is deeper, and please, be careful.
After a couple more hours of questing and can collecting, we return and we actually enter Abyss Lavore. Now this is a point of no return. If you do not have Lily's friendship at a certain point before entering here, I don't know what percentage, I think you might get 19% for completing this mission with her. But after this you'll return to Zion and then you'll have a conversation with her after you talk to Orkul, and that will lock you into 1 or 2 endings. Now these endings directly correlate to pretty much whether Lily survives or dies. So if you're good friends with her, she'll live. If you're not good friends with her, she will die. Abyss Lavore is pretty much identical to the same area like this. You do not have a sword. It's guns only. This is a really, really good place to farm out 150 gun kills because there's free ammo all over the place. Abyss Lavore pretty much consists of a bunch of jumping puzzles. Now I'm somebody who sucks at platforming in games in general. It's probably one of my weakest points, but the platforming was really, really fun and I did enjoy this part of the game. As well as that, there's some super interesting information that can be found within the facility. Some of this documentation points to the fact that the Tebas were basically an accident and it wasn't the desired outcome of the genetic research that was taking place in the facility. Now these facilities were used to turn humans into genetically advanced creatures. The Natibas were the result of this, but the result was an accident due to the fact that Mother Sphere sent a strike squad against this, which then caused humanity to go ahead with the research, sort of unprepared, which resulted in Natibas rather than sort of the genetically advanced, sort of more intelligent versions of humans, which is what they wanted. But Natibas were basically just an accident and not the desired outcome of what was actually meant to happen. If that doesn't make sense, I'll explain it at the end when it comes to the good ending. Once we get to the end of Abyss Lavoy, we have another boss battle, which is a gun-only boss battle. Super straightforward and super easy. That will also net us a trophy for completing this area and getting the next hypercell for Orkul, and we'll also find a legacy.
The hypercell is intact.
I also found a legacy. It's almost like it was planted here for us to see.
I'm getting more and more curious. Let's investigate.
Let's check it out.
Day 78 after the second dive. 8th record. Legacy account Raven. I have discovered an important record of human history. A war ignited by Mother Sphere broke out, and as previously recorded, humanity was defeated. Earth then became the stage for the Andro-Eidos. Andro-Eidos declared themselves the new human race. This new human race, with Mother Sphere at its heart, made tremendous progress and advanced humanity. And The surviving humans, the real humans, they evacuated to an underground facility. Some, led by Raphael Marx, waited here at this facility for an opportunity to strike back. During this time, the surviving humans evolved in order to gain the strength to face the androids. The result of genetic engineering and rapid evolution. Beings that have lost everything. Everything but brute strength and survival instinct. That's what they've become. Monsters. The monsters that we're fighting are the Naytibas.
Naytibas. They were humans. Then, those we've killed so far, they were all humans.
I can't believe this.
But this production facility was definitely made for Naytibas. If the Naytibas were human, we, the ones fighting against humans, must be...
Andro Eidos. Are we Andro Eidos?
The creatures brought into existence, created by Mother Sphere.
No! We're humans! Humans with complete bodies, perfectly in harmony with machinery and living tissue. Naytibas, on the other hand, are incomplete because they are made only of living tissue. They can't adapt to different environments, and they can't even survive in space!
But what if we were created to solve such imperfections?
What?
Then, why did Mother Sphere hide this truth from us?
I need to think.
Yes. I don't think we can reach a conclusion about this on our own. I really do think we should talk to Orkle about all this.
Yes, let's do that.
You're here. Excellent work.
Hey, Eve. I'll take care of the hypercell.
Orkle.
I see you have something you'd like to ask me. Perhaps you came across the library at Lavoir.
We would like to know the truth.
Yes. It is a long, long story. We are certainly human, but this was not the case not too long ago. It is true that those who came before were responsible for the creation of Mother Sphere. The ones now referred to as the last surviving humans. They created us, the Andro Eidos, through Mother Sphere, and for a time we lived in a kind of symbiosis with them.
Then... we're androids. We were created.
Then why did Mother Sphere...
The reason is unknown. However, at some point, Mother Sphere made a decision. Humanity's survival depended on a reorganization of the species. And that conflict led to war, and the eventual extinction of the surviving humans.
That can't be.
The few who escaped destruction were scattered to the winds, but some managed to flee and find shelter in the ruins in Lavoir. It was originally a facility for the purpose of genetically evolving mankind. After all, lifespans of the surviving humans were very short. That facility was the birthplace of what we have come to call Netibas. The records in the legacy are all true. All this time we have been waging war on our own ancestors. Now, my personal link has extended to a fairly wide area. The next Alpha Netiba cannot be found here on Earth. So, what do you plan to do?
Well, that still doesn't change the fact that Netibas are our enemies.
All right. If we've come this far, we have no choice but to reach the nest through the Master Core. Give me the coordinates of the Alpha Netiba.
As you wish. When you return, I will tell you the rest of the story. Or perhaps it would be better to hear it straight from the Elder's mouth.
Are you already prepared to leave?
Mm-hmm. Just finished.
And you, Lily?
We're going to be so close to the colony. It's just a lot for me to process.
There's no need to overthink it. Eve is the one going to space anyway. You and I will be waiting in the tetrapod.
I know, but...
Well, we'll see what she sees. So physical distance won't really matter. Okay? Let's go. Eve, just a reminder. We're heading into space, so expect the journey to be a long one. You should try to take care of everything you need to in Zion before we leave.
Eve, Adam, wait.
Huh? What's going on?
I have a request. There's somewhere I'd like to visit before we leave.
Huh? Where?
Can we possibly make a stop at Eidos 9? Please?
That shouldn't be a problem. Can I ask why?
There's a workshop there, a place that I was hiding in. There's something I really want to bring with me.
All right. If you really need it, Lily.
Thank you.
A lot just happened. Basically, as expected, we are not humans, we are androids, and then we waged war on humanity, which then humans turned themselves into Netibas by accident when they were trying to genetically modify themselves to become better so they could fight back against the android threat. Basically, Mother Sphere is kind of a bitch, bro. She's kind of a bitch, and I felt like this big revelation was a little obvious because I picked it pretty early on, and there's a lot of twists in this later on that I did not fucking see coming, so I'm not claiming to be super fucking smart or anything. I saw this one coming on the pure fact that clearly we're not fucking human, because we do not bleed blood. I'd also like to mention at this point, Mother Sphere was created by a human called Raphael Marx. Now this is important when it comes to one of the endings, because we can find out some cool information about him, but I'll share that when we get to it. But this is also important because the document that I keep referring to, which basically states that humans turn themselves into Netibas by accident because of an airborne attack on the facility, that order was given by Raphael Marx. So he was the one who basically went, no, go ahead with the experiment and genetically modify humanity. Hopefully it works out and we, become super strong. But it didn't, and they became Netibas. The point with Raphael Marx is he basically just fucked everything up. The long of the short of it is he created the androids. He didn't create the androids. He created Mother Sphere. Mother Sphere created the androids. Mother Sphere then decided that the androids were better than humans and humans suck, and then waged a war on them. And in response to that, while trying to create a better humanity to fight back against the androids, Raphael then created the Netibas. So basically the whole situation of the world comes down to the fact that Raphael, he's just kind of an L dude. He keeps just fucking up when he does things. He's trying to do things for the good of everybody, but he just fucks it all up. Now this brings us to this part of the game where we return to EDO 7. Now the cocoon thing in front of us right now, that is an enemy that is missable because this area is missable if you do not have Lily's friendship to 100%. You need to have Lily's friendship at 100%, which means you need to do a whole bunch of random activities and find random things and get her friendship to 100% so you can come here. Now, wholeheartedly, this is my least favorite part of the game. I fucking hated this area so goddamn much. It is so boring. Like, the whole game is fantastic, but this is the one time in the game, the first time in the game where I was like, I'm not having fun. This area sucks. Basically, you just have to run around and destroy like 8 cocoons, or 10 cocoons or something, so you can then use the tetrapod to fly through the area. It is really boring. It goes for way too long. But you need to come here for, well, the trophy to kill all Natibas as well as getting all the camps, because there's a whole bunch of camps in this area that if you don't get here, well, you don't get the camps, so you miss that trophy. So you do need to come here for, even for the ending. Like, it's just, you need to come here, but it sucks. It's my least favorite area in the game. It's awful. While in this part of EDO 7, I get 2 more trophies. One is called a Relentless Savage, and that's for getting 50 kills with a burst. With the burst skills, which really easy to do. You could do this well before this. And the other trophy I get is called Record Collector, and that's for collecting 200 bits of information. Now that's basically just from picking up notes off corpses. At the end of the area we find where Lily was hiding out for a couple years, and that leads us to this cutscene.
Got everything?
Yes, except one thing.
What is it?
Actually, I wasn't alone here. I had a colleague who also survived. Iberus. Colony's greatest hacker. And the comrade I cared most about. She fell asleep a year ago due to body cell damage.
Lily.
Sorry for leaving you all alone, Iberus. I'll come and visit you often. This contains a deep algorithm hacking system, along with Iberus's memories. This is what she left for the world. Her legacy. Thank you for waiting. Let's go now. Iberus. Goodbye.
After we're done in EDOs 9, we finally head to the second final area in the game. It's basically the final area because the last area is, it's like one little zone. It's very small.
So, are you saying that's where the Alpha Core is? Adam, are you listening to me?
Oh, sorry. I got a message from Zion.
Is everything all right?
Something serious seems to have happened. I have to return to Zion.
What? But we've come this far. Okay, I'll go on alone. If I were to go back to Zion now, there's no way to know how things will change.
Eve.
Drop me off, then head back to Zion. It's fine. I can do this alone.
Wait. I think I have a really great idea. You could leave the drone operation to me. Adam can take the hoverbike back to Zion while I operate. A perfect plan, right?
Lily, not just anyone is able to operate drones. You need a wide field of view, the ability to make smart decisions fast,
And the stabilizer, scanner, and link sensors do all the work for you.
How did you...
I figured it all out while modifying the railgun. Went for some test drives too.
It still doesn't compare to the knowledge you gain from real experience. Do you agree with Lily's idea, Eve?
Adam, you can trust us. Go.
Okay. Fine. You win. Don't overdo anything while I'm gone. I'm looking at you, Lily.
It was operational until recently. It's still transferring power from fusion cells. Dumping empty boxes out into space.
So, welcome to Spire 4. Now, there's a couple of important things during the Orca Space Complex mission. There are 4 soda cans that are incredibly missable, as well as a bunch of camps that are incredibly missable. So when you play through this, be careful. I didn't miss any camps, but when I finished the game, I had to go back because I missed camps in the Great Desert, because you've got to get every single one of them, and there's a couple hidden. I missed all 4 of the soda cans in this area, so you've got to be really careful when going through that. But once again, we're just going to break this up into sections. So the first section, we have to get to the hypertube. So that's the first objective that we need to complete once we're here, and that's to get to the, I believe it's called the hypertube, and that's going to allow us to travel to Spire 4 so we can get into space and kill the last Alpha Natiba.
Wow, it's opening! It's windy! There's no end in sight. Will we be okay?
It was sealed off, so it'll probably be safer than other routes.
What's up? Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing.
So while riding the hypertube, we run into the next boss, who I believe is called Bella, and we do get a trophy for beating this boss. But this boss has 1 phase now, and then like 4 phases later on. It was one of the first bosses that generally challenged me, and I actually struggled with a lot.
What is that? Watch out!
I should have mentioned this earlier, but you get an ability called like the Tacky mode once you beat Tacky like way earlier in the game, and that's basically just how I fight most bosses and you enter this mode. There is a trophy related to this mode, which is just get 50 kills while in it, which is again super easy to do. But yeah, that's basically how I open every boss fight, is just entering this mode and then spam whirlwinding attack.
Ran away. I think we should take a break for a bit.
Throughout the game, whenever you like rest at a camp, generally there's like a conversation that takes place between you, Lily, and Adam. Now Adam's not around, so it's just a conversation between us and Lily, and I'm not going to include them all, but mainly it's just Lily's trying to come to terms with the fact that Mother Sphere maybe not a good person. Or AI, I should say. Again, the next part is pretty similar to all of sort of the standard one-way parts within the game, like EDOS 9 and Matrix 11. There's just a bunch of puzzles that we've got to do and a bunch of fighting and, you know, restoring power and that, and then we eventually get to fight Bella again.
Was it waiting for me?
It has regenerative abilities. The blade alone won't be enough for this one.
This fight is relatively simple, but man, this boss hits like a truck. Basically, as soon as you get it down to low health, like 3 times, it just regens health until you finally like use your gun to actually kill it.
I didn't think it was going to be this powerful. My arm, it feels strange.
The body cell is overloaded. The drone is unstable as well.
Will I be able to overcharge again?
Maybe once or twice, but no more.
Okay, I'll have to save it.
So after we kill Bella and get that trophy, I hope you like climbing, because it's just climbing, dude. We just climb for ages. We just climb in elevators, climbing stuff, just climbing. That's summed up. And then we meet a android.
The 3rd floor is
Honestly, the whole time, and you spend about half an hour with that android, I was waiting for it to just betray me, and I was so relieved when it died. After that though, we go and rest at another camp, and there is a little cutscene, and also I get the trophy for maxing out health. So this trophy is called Perfect Rechargeable Tumbler, and it's basically for just maxing out your health kits, not your health yourself.
Finally, we can sit down. Oh wait, I'm already sitting down.
Lily, can you check the status of the railgun?
Sure. Booster, cooling system, sensors are all looking fine. We just need to be careful with the power overload. Whoa! What's wrong?
I thought I heard something.
I'm not getting a single signal.
In the next room after this camp, we fight our next major boss called Karakuri, and that will give us a trophy also called Karakuri.
Wow. The atmosphere here is so unique. And it's in pretty good shape. I think it should smell nice too.
Yeah, I smell flowers. But
Something's fishy. Oh, come on. These are all fake. I guess even the VIPs couldn't see the real ones. Ah!
Lily! Lily? Do you hear me? Lily? Targeting the drone first. They're getting smarter. You're definitely not ordinary.
Lily. Lily.
Oh, it's connected. Whew. I can see now. What happened, Eve?
It was an Atiba ambush.
I knew it. Well, are you all right?
Yes, it was nothing. I'll give you the details on the way up.
So after we kill that boss, we have to continue heading all the way up to the top of the space elevator, because that's where the Alpha Natiba is, and then we will fight the final boss of Spire 4, and we will get the trophy Demigorgon, I believe.
Did we make it?
We did. But there's a strong electromagnetic field surrounding this place. It feels just like the eye of a hurricane. Over there! My goodness!
What have you done to yourself? I see all that pain. I'll put an end to it. There's no core.
Eve, behind you! Eve! Eve! Oh my! Over there!
That's the real Alpha.
We're in low orbit, so gravity is still an issue. At this rate...
We can't just leave the Alpha Natiba here. Lily, use all my body cell power to overcharge the railgun.
What? But there's no way you'll survive!
It's okay. This is what I was born to do. Lily, please!
This is all too much for me! Body cell connected! Full power overcharge ready! Infinity body cell connect! It's charging right now!
Lily, my attack was blocked. Find a way to open its eye again.
I'm analyzing it now! I've got it! The eye a direct hit! It looks like it's losing nerve connection!
Just one more left! This is it! The last one!
Eve! Your body cell! It's empty!
I defeated it, but I can't
core. I'm so sorry.
It's a signal from the colony. Please hang in there. I sent out an SOS to the colony. Please, somebody, anybody, we need help!
Thank you, Lily.
Eve? Thank you for coming back alive. It was Mother Sphere. She must have heard me.
No, Lily. It's thanks to you. I was able to come back because of you. And Adam?
I haven't had any contact with him since then. I can't even reach him through the emergency communication line. What do you think happened?
I wonder if something happened to him in Zion. Could it be?
Yes?
Nothing. Come on, we've got to hurry.
My goodness. Zion is...
Is this what Adam was talking about? We have to go down.
Eve, I'm sensing an alpha signal coming from the presence chamber.
Orko. He could be...
I'll try to do something here with the exosuit. Eve, hurry to the presence chamber.
Okay, I'm going. Be careful, Lily.
It's pretty much a mad dash to the end of the game, but before we enter the presence chamber I get another trophy called Perfect Blood Eagle, and that is for fully upgrading our main weapon. So I believe there's 3 more bosses left.
Come at me, you monster! I have failed. I'm sorry.
You killed Taki. And now, destroying Zion. Why? What is all of this for?
Eve, you're late to the party. How does it feel to be responsible for the fall of Zion?
What? You can speak.
In spite of everything, I do wonder why he chose you instead of me. I've already proven this much, but why?
He? What are you talking about?
You're a little on the slow side. I won't let you anywhere near him. There will be nothing left of you when I'm finished.
So when we're fighting this giant bird creature, it brings in, just out of nowhere, insta-kill attacks. It's just like, oh, enemies now have insta-kill skills, which is fine, but the only way you can deal with insta-kill attacks is if you have ammo. And I know during the last boss also has insta-kill attacks, or one of them. I think all of them, all the last bosses have insta-kill attacks. But I went into one of them with 0 ammo. So it's just like you couldn't do anything, you just die. So I don't really like the insta-kill skills when the only way to deal with them is relying on the fact that I brought ammo to this fight, because if I hadn't, like, I would have just died there.
A human? That face, it's familiar.
Wait. Raven? From the Legacies?
You're right, she's the one who left the records.
Seems as though I've been exposed. Damn it!
She disappeared.
Are you all right?
Go to Oracle, not me. By that hyperdrive.
So after we beat Raven, we go and talk to Oracle, and he has some interesting things to say.
Oracle!
You've arrived just in time.
You're...
Oracle, your body?
This is who I really am.
What?
I'm not human. The first ever fusion between an Andro Eidos and an Netiba. I am the first of the Alpha Netibas.
But then...
In the past, I slaughtered countless humans. I was left for dead after the colony extinction, but humans found me and saved me. That was the moment when I lost all reason to fight. After sealing the power of the Alpha, I gathered all the survivors I could and built Zion. I thought I could atone for my sins by protecting them, building a home for them, a safe place. I tried to conceal my identity for as long as I possibly could, but Raven had to be stopped. Have you collected all the Alpha cores?
Yes, except for one.
We lost it. Out in space.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for giving my life purpose. At last, 4 cores are here together. Here, this is the Master Core. Take it and meet the Elder Natiba. The rest is up to you.
So after we're finished talking to Orkle, we have a little send-off from everybody and we head to the final area in the game where we face off against Raven again.
It's the path that leads to the nest. Eve, you've probably noticed by now, but the bike signal is coming from here. Something doesn't seem right.
Just what exactly happened to Adam? Lily, are you really going to go with me?
I just want to help in any way I can, especially after all you've done for me, Eve.
Even though we might encounter the Elder?
That'll be even better. This exosuit, it's really something.
Okay, thank you. Then let's go towards the signal.
Day 109 after the second dive. Legacy account Raven. This will most likely be my last record. Didn't we praise Mother Sphere by calling her the mother of mankind? Mother Sphere is the immutable being who saved mankind from ruin and has given us both life and a cradle. But the peace we enjoyed in the colony was only made possible because of the blood on our mother's hands. The rebellion started by Mother Sphere grew into a war in which mankind paid a terrible price. The humans that remained eventually evolved into the Natibas and made their way to the colony, to Mother Sphere. To prevent the colony's contamination, Mother Sphere destroyed the orbit ring, and with it 30 of its space modules. The remnants of the orbit ring fell to the ground, causing a catastrophic wave that swept the Earth. Civilization as we know it came to an end. Look around you, a planet where only Natibas remain. Remember, at the beginning and the end of the final war is Mother Sphere. Do not forget, we were just pawns on a twisted chessboard.
So originally I was going to complain about the difficulty of this boss fight, but it's nothing to what's coming up. Like, I die a couple of times here. I thought this fight was really, really challenging, but it's nothing. It's nothing compared to the last boss. So eventually end up beating Raven and we get the trophy Raven for beating her.
You did it, Eve. Well done. Why are you hesitating? Because we were comrades? Or because I'm human like you? Except you don't believe we're human. Your mainframe's nerve fibers and exospine have all been severed. So now, you won't be able to fight. You've taken so much from me. In exchange, I'll allow you to witness the end. In that state.
What? What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? You don't know anything. Kill me. Go ahead and kill me. I wouldn't be your first.
Lily, let's go.
Eve! Stop right there! Finish this! Eve! Eve!
So we head through the Natiba nest. There's no fighting until we get to the Elder Natiba at the end.
Eve. I've been waiting.
It's like I thought. It was you.
Adam. Why is Adam here?
I know this is a disappointment. I'm sorry, Eve. Everything that has happened until now, and even before, it began with me. I am the source of it all.
Adam. Or would you prefer I call you Elder? What are you scheming? You pretended to rescue me. Pretended to help me on my mission. All under the guise of helping Zion. What are you really after?
I want atonement. I want forgiveness. I want us to heal. Please know that everything I have done sincerely.
Enough of this nonsense! My comrades, the people of Zion who trusted you, tell me why they had to die!
Eve, you have every right to be mad. I understand.
Elder Natiba, you...
Please, listen to me, Eve. First, I'm sorry for what happened between you and Raven. In the end, she had her own motives, and that way she was a lot like Oracle. As you've discovered, you were created by the surviving humans to look and act like them. And us, we're nothing but monsters. Right from the start, we struggled to coexist. Of course we did. Because we Naytibas were weak. We were not yet mature enough to fully accept your kind. This foolishness resulted in tragedy. In the end, we gave up our humanity in order to survive.
Then you threw us out into space!
Earth is too small for both our species to coexist. However, even if all the Naytibas disappear, it's impossible for your kind to succeed the human race. After all, you were created entirely from scratch, with no human DNA at all.
And what is it you're going to do? You think you're the one to end this gruesome slaughter?
Yes. I've been researching for decades to find a way. A way for us all to become the inheritors of the human race. An Andro Eidos, with the most advanced unicinous hyperbody ever seen. And the ultimate Naytiba that has not succumbed to its hostile instincts. These are the two necessary ingredients.
You mean?
Yes. You and I. We are what is needed. Eve, I offer you one last deal. Let us become whole. One being. A single, evolved human species. If we fuse together, we can truly become the seeds of a new human race.
That's insane! There's no point in listening to this, Eve!
At this rate, Mother Sphere will do the same thing over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if she even destroyed the colony, and thereby Earth. As you know, she will not stop. But this is not the path that humans should take.
But there's no proof that this fusion is the right path to take. Especially considering everything you've done.
You're right, Lily. However, my wish to save the new humans and surviving humans is sincere. As unbelievable as it may be. Lily, take this.
But this is...
This is the last hypercell needed to rebuild Zion. Zion can be saved no matter what choice Eve makes. It would mean so much if you could do this for me. Eve, your mission is to eliminate me. If you fuse with me, the Elder Naytiba, as you know it, will cease to exist. Forever. Is there any better way to complete your mission? Eve. Take my hand. I can save you. We can save each other. We can save everyone.
purpose of our existence is to eliminate the Elder Naytiba and save mankind. Naytiba, or Andro Eidos, is one more human than the other? If an entire species is wiped out so that another may remain, can we really call that salvation?
But...
If there is a way to save both species, I want to follow that path to the end. That's all I want.
Yes. So do I. We're like mirrors to each other. Your choice may not bring about peace and stability right away, but our union will create the greatest chance for a peaceful future. Now.
Yes.
Eve? Are you Eve?
Yes. Well, it's hard to describe, but... Lily, I am the Eve you remember.
I was worried that you had become someone I didn't know.
Lily.
Connection to the colony. Sending protocol. Sensing strong Naytiba signals nearby. Switching to combat mode.
Suit is moving by itself.
It must be because the Elder disappeared.
This is a combat command sent from the colony. Ah! Eve! Watch out!
So, I guess now's a good time to talk about the 3 different endings. Now, the ending we took where we join together and we become some sort of android Naytiba hybrid, which is meant to be the future of humanity. That is one ending. Another ending is if we reject his offer and we then kill him, we then return into space. I'll show all 3 endings. The other ending is basically this ending, except you accept his offer, you join with him, but earlier on in the game we went and we did Lily's side quest, which gets us a USB which will allow us to like override so she can escape this Terminator thing when we beat it. Beating it's a different story, it took me a very, very long time to beat it, but basically one ending is she'll either die or she'll live. So it's the same ending with a slight difference of whether or not Lily lives or dies.
Lily, are you all right?
Eve! I thought I'd be left alone. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still not used to the new look. Still, I'll get used to it one day, right?
Yes, Lily. I'm sure you will.
Oh, too many things happened today.
So with that, we will get
Yes.
the Making New Memories
even
trophy,
more
which is
awaits us.
for one of the endings.
A starry night. Starlight. Twinkling, reflecting on satellites. Predicting the future. It's like trying to find one single star in the endless sky. I serve the future of mankind, though whether that future would embrace me, I cannot say. But for the sake of Father, I refuse to give up. The one who gave birth to me, taught me, the one who's no more. Yes, I must confirm if you are, in fact, that future.
Mother... Sphere?
Nice to meet you, Eve and Lily. You have more than met my expectations. The final decision was a bit disappointing, yes. But thank you.
What are you talking about?
This concludes the Eve Protocol. Then farewell.
Wait! We have questions! Oh no! There's too many Eve!
Lily, stay back. So this is your plan. Then I'll gladly play my part. Now, come, my comrades.
feels alive. Maybe our only chance to survive. Yeah, it's me. It sure does love to feel. Oh, did you ever before your eyes? And then come forth with me. And through the agony, you said to me the world that we did for me. Beyond this broken cut, it's
So that's the first playthrough of Stellar Blade. Now, to get the Platinum Trophy, you have to do 2 playthroughs, one where you get the USB, one without, so you can get either ending, and we'll get the other 2 endings at the end of this playthrough. So you got to play through the whole game again. So I'm just going to list off a bunch of trophies that I get while playing through the game the second time. We have Perfect Exospine, which is for enhancing 10 exospines to max. Next we have Nanosuit Collector, which is for collecting 30 nanosuits. Then we have the Perfect Beta Energy Enhancement, which is for enhancing beta energy to max. Then we have the Cruel Liberator for killing 1500 enemies. Perfect Physical Enhancement for enhancing HP to max. Box Hunter for opening 200 boxes. And Can Collector for collecting all cans. This time we are going to reject Adam's offer and beat him, and that's going to get us 4 new trophies. One is Natiba Researcher for researching all of the alpha Natibas, or not all the special ones, and the other one is Agile Gladiator, which is for perfect parrying 300 times. We'll get the ending that is Return to Colony, and we'll also get the trophy Repeating Protocol, which is for winning New Game Plus.
Adam, I'm sorry.
Eve. With this, the history of humans is over. Your will, your actions, your decisions. I just hope that everyone is guided in the right direction.
Eve! The nest! Hurry!
A starry night. Reading the future is like mapping out the night sky. And sometimes you catch a glimpse of a shooting star falling towards Earth. Yes, seeing the future is just like that. I fully respect your decision, Eve, even if it is a bittersweet one. I will be waiting for you, and I will be watching.
Mother Sphere.
Is it done? Is it finally over?
Yes, it is, Eve and Lily. It is time to go home.
But we still have things to do.
First, let's pay Mother Sphere a visit. We have a few questions for her, remember?
I can see the colony! Oh, but...
So, once we got that ending, I went and did the Cost of Lost Memories ending, which is basically we just did the same as the first ending, except Lily dies. And that's pretty much the game. I had a couple of trophies left over. One was Meticulous Explorer, which was for activating all the camps. This one can be quite tricky if you miss them. Revenging Agent, which is killing 50 enemies in Tashi mode. Thorough Tactician, which is for learning all skills. Infinite Blade, which is for learning all new game skills. And the Lonely Fisherman for catching 50 different fish. And that's the Platinum Trophy. And well, that's the video. One super interesting thing though is that Raphael Marx is Adam, and you find out sort of early, if you put the pieces together, you find that out when you beat him in his form, and then you go look at the Natiba researcher part. You can, it has a little bio, and it says that he is Raphael Marx. Now that's just super interesting. But yeah, that's the video. I don't even really know what this is or why I did it, but it's basically just been my Stellar Blade playthrough and how I got the platinum and sort of the story through my eyes as I've sort of played the game. Yeah, I really don't know why I did this or what this is meant to be, but I've had fun, so, and I thought I'd just try something new, and that's kind of all this is meant to be. But if you've liked it, you know, let me know. If you've watched all, I think this is going to be like nearly 2 hours long. No, it's going to be over 2 hours long. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, man, awesome. If not, man, like, you know, there's nothing I can do about that, dude. I'm just making shit and seeing, you know, what I like doing and different things. And this was just an idea I had. And when I have an idea, I generally just like give it a crack. But yeah, anyway, I've been the Viper Moose, and this has been the Stellar Blade Platinum. This took a very, very long time to do. I'm not going to lie, but I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to catch you with the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.